All right, well, thank y'all for being here. We're gonna go ahead and get started. This is Appropriations Subcommittee on General Government, and we're gonna hear from Department of Natural Resources today and their budget items, and then we're also gonna hear from the Commissioner on the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Act. It's a fairly new program. Commissioner, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can. If I know you don't have a whole lot, but we appreciate you being here, and always good to hear from you. And I know you got some exciting stuff on the GOSA side. But if you want to go ahead and let's kind of walk through the budget, and we'll do that first, and then we'll talk about GOSA.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members, for inviting me to speak with y'all on the FY22 budget and the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program. Department of Natural Resources can be found under Section 34, pages 11 through 12 of your House tracking document. I want to bring your attention to a few alterations in our mostly flat FY22 budget. Our FY22 budget has even fewer changes than the amended FY21 budget. The largest item of note is an increase of $4,705,266 to the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program. And this adjustment will bring the fund's allocation in line with the 2020 collections. Remember, per the funding legislation, that the state treasurer credits the trust fund 40% of all sales and use tax received by the state from sporting goods stores in the immediately preceding year. The final FY22 total for the fund will be nearly $21 million. The second budget change for FY22 is a $397 increase that will bring the employer retirement contribution into compliance for a couple of our parks and historic sites employees who are on the TRS program. Mr. Chairman, that covers our FY22 budget. If there are any questions, I can pause now or go right into the outdoor stewardship.
All right, hold on just a minute. Do we have any questions from the members of the committee? All right, thank you. Good, Commissioner.
All right, moving along to the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program. Again, appreciate y'all for attending and to hear from us and for being an important part of the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program. It was established in 2018 and became effective in 2019. And I want to thank again the citizens of this great state who approved the idea at the ballot box, the General Assembly for passing the original legislation, and our governor for his passion to conserve our natural resources for generations to come. With this being said, I would like to offer you an overview of the 2020-2021 grant cycle significant milestones and relevant program criteria. The pre-application cycle opened August 1st, 2020, after a series of statewide web-based educational workshops, and it closed on October the 16th. The attendance of the workshops was very impressive, even eclipsing last year's inaugural season. We had over twice the registered attendees, numbering approximately 425 in comparison to last year's 200. In total, there were 51 submitted pre-applications, of which 38 were local parks and trail submissions, 1 state land acquisition project, and 12 state stewardship proposals. The applications resulted in a total of over $80.5 million in requested funds, which, as you can see, makes the grant program extremely competitive once again. All projects submitted by local governments, nonprofits, and state agencies had to focus on conservation or outdoor recreation and be of statewide or regional significance. We then reviewed these applications in accordance with the evaluation criteria that was approved by the Board of Trustees. The Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program Board of Trustees held a meeting on January 12th and approved the proposed slate of projects for funding. This was followed by a vote of approval before the full board of the Natural Resources on January 26th. Please be aware that all this information I'm going through and the proposed slate of projects was provided to the committee and chairman at the end of January. I want to thank DNR Chief of Grants, Taylor Brown, and our entire grants unit for a job well done in serving applicants and educating interested parties in a year that was vastly different from the year prior. Their hard work and professionalism made all the difference. At this time, Mr. Chairman, I'm glad to take any questions from the committee. As a quick reminder, the committee needs to take action through a formal vote to approve the slate of projects per the founding legislation.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. I guess while I'll give the members a minute or two to see if we got any questions. We had a pretty broad spectrum of project I see from, South Georgia, East Georgia, North Georgia, Middle Georgia, statewide. I mean, I feel like everybody was represented, I guess. So that's always good to see. I noticed the land acquisition. We had one in the package last year. Does that complete that for the state?
Yes, sir. That will complete the Saline Wildlife Management Area. 16,000 acres.
16,000 acres. Okay. Any questions from the committee? Representative Meeks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner, how are you doing today? Could you tell us a little bit more about the acquisition, just for those of us that were on the committee last year, the 16,000 acre acquisition?
It's 16,000 acres in Camden County, a lot of maritime forest, great gopher tortoise habitat. We actually got to start hunting it a little early under an agreement with the landowner. It's been a very popular wildlife management area for hunting. I think the total cost was $29 million. And the state's part, as you see, is going to be roughly $8 million. So the rest of it was federal funded through private donations. The Department of Defense bought an easement over it because it's so close to the sub base at Kings Bay, and then some fish and wildlife money. But the state's part was $8 million of a $29 million acquisition.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chair Lady Smith.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your report. I'm just glad to see it's up and running and going and being so well received. And I think from this, I'm going to get some contacts and calls from people. Where do we refer them to start doing the basic application?
To Taylor Brown. She's our grants unit coordinator. We will email you all her contact information, and actually we can get Josh to email her contact information to everybody on the subcommittee. And it's also on the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship website. You can also find the contact information.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Well, Commissioner, y'all do a great job with this fund, and as you mentioned earlier to the committee, the trustees have approved this slate of projects. The DNR board has approved this slate of projects, and the final step in this process is for this committee to approve this slate of projects so they can move forward. So that's part of the reason we're here today is, so at this time, I'll entertain a motion. Representative Prince.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the list that's presented before us.
Got a motion and a second. Let's do everybody in the room first. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, and I think we've got one or two joining us virtually. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Commissioner, The 2021 GOSA approved project list is yours to make it happen. So thank you for the job that your team does, and I look forward to continuing to work with you through this budget cycle.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for letting me be here today.
All right, thank you. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, Commissioner. We'll see you later.